It pains me to say this, but I don't think Cold War Zombies is much better than Black Ops 4 Zombies. Yeah, it's a little early to say this. I mean, it just came out yesterday, but I lost my rose-tinted glasses in that goddamn fog. If you've played the game, you know exactly what I mean.
Ort, what the hell just happened?
Oh, this
Data suggests they traveled to the other dimension.
But before I get too negative, I just wanted to say my opinion on this game is in its early state. And it's about equivalent to calling a fetus ugly, so my opinion is subject to change. However, I still feel compelled to make this video because I know Treyarch can do better. So much better. But before I unleash my negative miasma, I thought it would be at least good to talk about what I did like about the map. First of being, I like the layout. There's plenty of space to run and train. Even if you're in the lobby with others, there's a lot of space you can work with. Number 2, I appreciate the tiered weapon system, at least in theory. I do have my complaints, but we'll get to those later. They added timers to drops like they had in Knocked, a nice little touch. I like what they did with the perks. The idea of leveling them up is cool. I like the scrap system. I love that you can beat a zombie to death again with my bare fucking fists. I love being able to exfil. That's a really cool little touch, adds another element to the gameplay. But the thing I love most about this map has to be the atmosphere in the labs before you turn on the power. It is actually scary, legitimately scary. You see those fucking eyes darting at you like in the dark, that shit spooks you. But yeah, now that that's over, time to be negative. Who here remembers the major complaints surrounding Black Ops 4 Zombies? I do. At least in the circles I played with, there were 4 big ones. Perks, HUD, points, Pack-a-Punch. Now I know what you're saying, but they weren't big pink. Yes, they did. They fixed one thing. And it is better. However, each of the other issues have gotten much worse. So much worse.
No, 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 no.
So yeah, it's a lot worse, isn't it? The new HUD makes me want to gouge my eyes out and stick them up my ass like anal beads, so I never have to see something as awful again. Yes, my asshole is more pleasant. Whereas the HUD in Black Ops 4 maybe took up 1/3 of your screen, oh, this one, it takes up 2/3, I'd say, roundabout, maybe a little bit more. It's almost like they tried to make cinematic bars out of your HUD. It's so fucking gross. Like, why do I need a mini-map? Or compass for that fucking matter? Like, Jesus Christ. At least you can take the compass off, but the mini-map has to stay for whatever reason. It's stupid. I mean, I thought it was fun learning a map and not, relying on a guide, but okay, yeah, that's fine, sure. Now, yeah, it's a small thing, but it's just icky. I mean, I'm just getting it out of the way. But yeah, it just makes you feel gross. So the new point system is absolutely horrific. It's entirely based on murder. So, let's say you down, lose your guns, your perks. They do give you a hell of a lot of points back, and that's, I'm pretty sure, based on what gear you had, perks and gear. So let's say you go back, you buy your perks, and then you spend what little you have left to get a gun. If you do not have enough to pack after you get a gun, you're likely fucked. More than likely. If it's like past round 15. Sometimes that's not even enough to save you. If you can pack, your gun will become a singularity and slowly suck every last penny from you. I even set up a little demonstration to show you my point. I'm going to roll the box once, take what it gives me, use up all the ammo it has, and see how many points I get. I will not be counting points I get from elemental pop uses, because that doesn't really count. It's infinite damage.
Exfil window gone.
Handgun ain't much.
So, out of the 360 bullets I had at the start, do you want to know how many points I got? 845. And that's being generous. I subtracted all the brain rot kills I saw, but there was obviously some other elemental pop damage going into it, so it's already skewed to making more points. But it only managed to make 845. Now, I don't know what changed, but you could make points in Black Ops 4 relatively easily, even with a really shit gun. Like, you could do it. But this, it's just going to be a constant sink, basically. Like, even for a pistol, it should be so much better than the point draw should be so much better than what it is. I don't know who thought this point system was a good idea. I don't know why people have a vendetta against people getting hundreds of thousands of points. That's the part of the game. If you're good at the game, you can do that. Also, while I'm on the subject of points, Treyarch, why did you rename points to Essence? Points were, well, straight to the point. I know it's a small nitpicky thing, but when I see a pointless attempt to rename something, I think of non-Treyarch zombies. For example, Infinite Warfare had tickets, World War II had jolts, and I entirely forgot about Advanced Warfare. Probably for the best. Well, you know that there are a lot of studios who worked on this game, and I wonder if any had worked on zombie stuff previously. Wait, didn't Sledgehammer make World War II and Advanced Warfare? They both had zombie modes. You know, I wonder, what was the division of labor between the studios? You know what? What if Sledgehammer made this game mode? That would make a lot of sense. It doesn't feel like Treyarch made this, does it? It's just, it doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, you know? It doesn't have that character. And you know what? It's even worse if my little theory ends up false, because that means Treyarch was afraid of copying itself. Though, I guess it wouldn't be the first time, but points? Who owns the copyright on fucking points? I'm pretty sure games before Black Ops used points. No, it was World at War. Whatever. I'm pretty sure you could go all the way back to Pong, and it might say points somewhere. Why the fuck are they so afraid of saying points? Remember when I was talking about downing and losing everything? Well, there's a certain point in the game where even a pack-a-punch weapon will not suffice, and you know what you'll have to do then? You'll have to double pack. Do you want to know how much that'll cost you? Do you? 15,000 essence! And you know what? There's even a point where that won't be enough, and you'll have to shell out your entire savings of 30,000 essence. I mean, what the fuck? The worst part about it, about all of this, it's side by side with the tiered weapon system. And this is why I'm a little jaded about it. Am I crazy, or does it make sense that one should make the other redundant? Like, you get a max tiered weapon, you pack a punch once. That should be, you know, as good as your gun can get. Or you pack a punch 3 times and you just have a gun. That's the best it can get. But both of them at the same time? Like, I'm okay with, you know, saving up a bunch of money to pack my weapon over and over again. I'm okay scavenging for hours just to get my weapons to their top tier. But you know what I'm not okay with? Doing both. After, you know, in Black Ops 4, the complaint was you had to pack your weapon 5 times. The initial price was 5K, like in this, but the consecutive 4 times, it was only 2,500. 25, why did I even fucking complain? That was at its max power, and it had the what is it called? You know, like the elemental weapons, so like brain rot, all that shit. You have to buy that separate. When I heard that multiplayer operators were gonna be the characters in Zombies, I felt a tinge of sadness enter my heart. Part of why people enjoyed playing Zombies was the banter between the characters. Just that cartoonish, funny bullshit. It was good, okay? You know what? Even Victus was good. These characters, what their fucking voice lines, let's just say Ultimus Takio had better small talk than any of these operators. Just listen to this bullshit.
So much for your skull.
Like, just shut the fuck up. That is so stupid. Oh, so much for your skull. Oh my god. I think the most irritating thing is none of the operators seem at all phased. They just make stupid fucking, like, you know, tough guy quips like, toe tag him. I think it just, they don't interact with each other, and that's the most annoying part. And you know what, I think Treyarch realized that maybe they needed some form of banter so they could, you know, dump exposition on you, so they added 3 voices in your head. Weaver, a random dude, and a miscellaneous doctor. The doctors kind of switch out every once in a while, but yeah, they need to drop exposition down on you somehow, and your brick of a character is not capable of doing that with their 2 brain cells. God damn it. Another small irritant that I found. So, there's a lot of craftables in this game, like a fuck ton. As far as I can tell, you can't find any of those parts on the map. The only way you can find those parts is killing the big bad, and there's a chance that he will drop it. I'm sorry, but aren't puzzles, like, supposed to be devoid of RNG? Like, doesn't it make sense that for a puzzle, you have to work towards something, you have to think of stuff, you have to use your brain? I guess that was too complicated for whoever was making it, and they were like, oh, fuck it, just make it drop from the other dude. Once again, I could be very wrong, but the only 2 parts that I have found in this game came from drops out of the fucking big bad's asshole. Like, I don't know what to think. I mean, leave a comment if you know that to be the case, but either way, I think it's pretty fucking dumb. So, as I said in the beginning, I would not be making this video if I didn't feel that Treyarch could do better. But I know they can. Sure, Black Ops 4 was not that great, but they at least attempted to do something. They attempted to make a new story. And sure, it was pretty shit, but they actually went through with making dialogue between characters. In Cold War, I can't help but feel that this was made out of obligation, because there's been no Black Ops without a zombies game mode. As of right now, Cold War is just a reminder of how manipulative trailers are meant to be. When I heard that perk jingle, I thought to myself, by God, they fixed it. They fixed this game. It's back to like how it used to be. I was so excited I pre-ordered it. But then I played it. And that was the only thing they fixed from Black Ops 4. Everything else made much worse. A good analogy would be like if you went to McDonald's and you asked for a burger and fries. You roll up, pick up your food, and you're about to leave when you look in your bag and realize you have no fries and you have a McChicken instead of a burger. So you roll back around and you ask if you can get your meal. They say yes, and in fact, they feel bad about what they did, so they'll give you an extra serving size of fries. You roll up, you get your food again, and you look at your fries and you're like, wow, that's a lot of fries. However, instead of a burger, they just gave you a piece of tin foil holding together a mound of shit. Yeah, That's about equivalent to what's going on in this game right now. You can't fix one thing and expect every other little detail to just be forgotten about. Sure, it is really awesome to have perks back, but the whole experience isn't made up by one thing at a time. It's made up by little things working together. And I don't think they were thinking too hard about that. Look at, Pack-a-Punch and the tiered weapon system. They do not fit well together, yet it is still in the same game. I almost feel like no one tested this. No one played through it and saw these flaws. It feels gross. I just wanted to say before I go, my problems with this game are not with the map itself. I actually really like the map. My problems with the game mechanics that surround the map. I enjoy the setting, all of that. I think it's actually really well built in that regard. However, the mechanics that this game uses are broken to some capacity. And believe it or not, my negativity does not cover the whole game. I actually really love the campaign, and multiplayer's been really fun. Zombies is really the only thing that I'm iffy about, and they can fix it. It's still early on in the game's lifespan. They can fix this. There's going to be a bunch of free content coming out for zombies, and I'm really excited for that. But right now, it's not where I'd want it to be. But then again, I really don't have much say in that. I am just the player, not the developer. I will continue to make content on zombies. My favorite game mode Call of Duty has to offer. I will also be making a video on the multiplayer and campaign. You can expect that around next week. I'd love to hear your thoughts on zombies down below, whether or not this game is where it should be or it can be better. If you liked the video, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Also, if you're into art, I do draw. I semi-regularly post art on my Instagram and Twitter. Both links are in the description below. I would really appreciate if you check them out. Well, that's kind of all I have to say. Goodbye.